welcome to Hard Copy from our studios in Abuja. I'm Kayla Megwa. A state of emergency declared in Rivers State by the president. What does that mean security-wise? My guest will be breaking that down for us in the course of the program. It's a fine line balancing policing and serving. To police and serve at the same time. That is the line that the Nigerian Police Service finds itself wobbling on from time to time. To police and serve. Accusations of corruption, abuse of office, poor welfare, partisanship, and ineptitude continue to trail the police force despite visible reforms from the Inspector General of Police. And police officers like my guest have been under direct attack, which he says most of the time are fake news and disinformation. And that's not all. When it comes to national security, he says fake news and disinformation have an adverse effect on our war against insecurity. The Force Public Relations Officer for the Nigerian Police joins us tonight on Hard Copy, exercising his right of reply and an update on some cases that went viral on social media. And speaking of social media, how much impact is the fake news and disinformation on social media impacting negatively on national security? ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, welcome to Hard Copy.
That's good evening, Miguel. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to have you here. Let's start off with River State and get that out of the way because it's moving parts. But just so we can understand what the security implications are when you say a state of emergency has been declared in Rivers.
Well, it's a constitutional matter, and we expect the police and other security agencies to take charge so that there will not be breakdown of law and order in any part of the state. And this is what the police has done. The IGP has deployed more men to River State to assist the Commissioner of Police in charge of River State. So every other thing, let's leave for those things for people to discuss, but our own is to make sure there's no breakdown of law and order in River State. And also that it's additional assignment for us. Statutorily, our jobs will be done. Don't forget, we are not going to leave our patrols, investigations, prosecutions left undone. So it's an additional assignment. We're going to do that. We are up to that. Before now, we've been managing crisis in other states. It's not just because state of emergency. Before now, even River State, you recall that we've been managing some of these conflicts. Don't let me say crisis. Some of these conflicts in River State. So it's not a new thing. It's not the first time we're experiencing this in the country. And the president has spoken. Once he has spoken, or just to make sure that we deploy appropriately to make sure that we respond to any incidents that may want to raise its head.
So let's move on to disinformation and fake news, which, I mean, I've been watching you talk about it for quite a while, and you're very active on social media, which is a little different because many people were not used to seeing a Force Public Relations Officer for the Nigerian Police Force actually tweeting and responding to one thing or the other. So I want to be able to get your thoughts on fake news and disinformation on social media and the impact that has with policing our country.
The fake news is just a broader name for disinformation and misinformation. At times people will just think and sit down and just bring up an issue that does not even exist in any way. Some can twist a story to confuse Nigerians and put online there. So once you give out any information that is not real, it's fake news. Whether it's in existence or you have distorted the facts, it's fake news. And we have been battling with this for a very long time. Not until 2015 that the National Assembly made a law, the Cybercrime Prevention and Prohibition Act 2015. But it's now amended, it's now 2024. Because they were able to review certain sections of this law. Cyberbullying is an offense on its own, or cyber stalking. Fake news, disinformation, or you can say misinformation. All these things are offenses that are punishable under the law. But one thing about us in Nigeria is that we always want sentiment to override our legal framework. Once somebody has done something wrong, any acts or omission that renders that person who has made the omission or has committed the offense or done the act punishable under the law is an offense. So whatever, any act that has been described to be a criminal offense, a punishable offense in our law, is an offense. And the police has the right to pick up any suspect, conclude investigation, and prosecute. Is this Nigeria that say that police is doing what they should, that apprehend a suspect, investigate a suspect, charge to court, they say allege you for charging people to court? They are not alleging for extortion. This time around, we need to know how funny this can be at times.
Well,
they will just take it
the
off.
criticism that they've been having against you, because let's talk about it then. Many people have been, some people have criticized you. So you're actually accusing people of cyber stalking and cyber bullying once they say something bad about the IG. Once someone criticizes the police, you go and arrest them that they are doing cyber bullying.
Criticism and cyber bullying.
Okay, where do we draw the line?
Yes, let's listen. For instance, you can say, Mr. Olumuyiwa, you made a policy of don't parade suspect publicly again. Let's use that as a case study now. That your policy is not good enough. Why can't you review this policy for reason 1, reason 2, reason 3? That is criticism. You're analyzing that. Perhaps you have done a study to show that if you fail to parade suspect, it's not going to work. Or if you parade suspect, it's going to work. If you have done your research, you can criticize that no. And you punch out our argument. But it's not to say, Mr. Olumuyiwa Adejobi, are you not a madman? How can you wake up? Useless man. You don't, when you criticize, there's no need for you to use abusive languages. There's no need for you to be sarcastic, and there's no need for you to threaten.
But you can't arrest people for being abusive or having a harsh tone.
No. It's not. See, is
that what constitutes bullying?
No. Well, it goes. If you read. So
if I said, if I smiled and I said, "You're a madman,"
no.
I haven't insulted you.
Bully. You understand better. And the law has described. If you see section, I think 24 of the Cyber Crime Prohibition Act, it's clear enough. If you see section 1, that is 24, bracket 1 and 2. Go and read better. These laws are not restricted document. But basically, those we have arrested and we have charged to court. We did not charge them to court for bullying per se again. We are talking of spreading fake news. We have seen somebody who actually said a deputy commissioner of police was arrested in Kaduna for supplying arms to bandits. That is not ordinary bullying. That is not criticism. You matchmake something, you use either AI or technology or what have you to put the picture of a deputy commissioner of police. Apparently that deputy commissioner of police was a fake officer that was arrested in Akwa Ibom since 2019. So you are coming up in year 2024 to 2025 to still say, this is the man. No, you did not even mention anything related to Akwa Ibom State. You link it up to a story that is not even in existence in Kaduna. This is a threat to national security. We will not fold our hands to allow such a thing to happen. And once this guy was arrested, we asked the question. The first thing this was to prostrate. I'm sorry, I wanted followers. You can't say because you have monetized your account. You have monetized your handle. You want to live fat. You want to make money. And you just sit down and you cook lies. You spread rumors. You spread lies. Toying with our national security. There's a particular news platform in Nigeria that to us is not so credible in any way because you always look for, even if Adejobi pushes out a press statement, they will still twist my press statement. For you to know how terrible that platform is. Don't let me mention any name here. See, the guy we didn't arrest him for criticizing our whatever or for condemning anything. That's not an issue. People talk. For those who know me on social media, I engage people and I talk to them on social media. But this apparently, this guy, you know what he did was to say it that the IGP altered the budget, 2025 budget of the police. So he was not arrested for criticizing. In fact, I did not even see the comment he made on the rescued wife of an AIG. Yeah. Not even at all. It was when our cyber crime center stumbled on this comment that they said, if you actually saying the IGP has altered the 2025 budget, You remember the story at the National Assembly? That one has been settled where one distinguished senator raised an alarm that he was not having a copy of what the IGP was presenting.
Yes.
There was no difference. The document itself is as bulky as anything. What they always do is they give out the synopsis of what you want chapter by chapter, then you go to your prayers. So the IGP was rolling out the prayers. That is request. So the National Assembly. When this particular guy was talking on X, he actually said the IGP forged or presented fake or wrong budget to the National Assembly.
There are quite a number of cases like this one, and I've understood your explanation for it. Well, the criticisms, I have to bring that up. Some people have said you're a little high-handed. In fact, someone... It's
not me. Don't forget.
He said that Olumuyiwa Adejobi, you in particular, he said he accused you of abuse of office. He said that you they
even wrote to embassies not to give me visa.
They wrote to the embassies and said they shouldn't give you or your family members visas.
It's a psychological projection. It's a psychological projection.
Is it possible in any way that there could have been some other way to maybe be a little kinder in handling these cases? Because they say you're too violent and you cannot be fighting people on X.
When it comes to the issue of committing an offense, a policeman is always a policeman. I'm a public relations officer. That doesn't mean I should not enforce the law. I'm not a specialist in that area. I'm a general duty policeman. That when I see that somebody has committed an offense online and I will not fold my arms, no, that's not my profession.
You said on X that a police officer, all police officers have the right to break into a place if they feel like a crime is being committed.
Yes.
You were accused of being high-handed and they were criticizing you for that as well. So explain that law to people so they can understand where you were coming from.
Anywhere police officers suspect that offense is being committed or criminals are hiding in that place, they can break in. But one thing is there's a process. Before you break in, you must be sure of what you are looking for. Or maybe you pursue a criminal, you scale the fence into a compound, and you are locking the gate at the policemen. They have the power to break. The only thing is that there must be a senior officer who will give directive power of ingress. Maybe an assistant superintendent of police will be there to pronounce power of ingress that guys go in and break into this place. It's a process. But where we even see that we are on operation, you pursuing armed robbers, they scale fence to a compound, they are knocking the gate, and you think you want to cover them up. No accessory after the fact is another criminal offense in our law. These are criminal offenses that are enshrined in our criminal laws in this country, either criminal code for the southern part or penal code for the northern part of Nigeria. So if we have said that this is what the law is saying, it's not that I drafted this myself, and this I made provisions clear that section so of the law has said this, section so of the law has said this. People who just want to criticize because they just want to hear anything from the police, and many of them are always catching crews. One, they catching crews. Two, they have monetized their account. Like I told one senior man yesterday that you don't react to this man. Because you react to this man, he's going to get more followers, and the more engagement he has, he's going to get more money from the owners of this platform, because he's just catching crews and he's making money at your own expense. That's why you see that there are things they write that the police will not react to, because many of them, they are not being sincere, they are not being fair to us, and they are not objective when they tweet whatever they tweet. You can see the issue of the IGP's tenure that people have been saying. Up till now, a particular guy is still calling IGP illegal. After the federal government has spoken, after the Attorney General of the Federation, the law officer of this country has spoken, he has curtailed the relevant law, amended Police Act to support the 4-year tenure for the Inspector General of Police. It's not for Kayode Egbetokun, it's for the office of the Inspector General of Police. Up till now, somebody is still saying IGP Egbetokun is an illegal IGP. After the matter has been even charged to court, you can see the impunity. And it's not the issue of high-handedness from the police, it's just that the law is there. It's going to take its course. Nobody can bully you to silence. It's not possible. That era has gone that police officers don't know. They will say they know they go to school. No, that era has gone. We are educated, we are learned, and we are exposed enough to be able to enforce the law the way we should. We know law enforcement is very difficult in a complex nation like Nigeria. Demographically, Nigeria is complex. Geographically, Nigeria is complex. Politically, it's complex. We're having many political parties. So a complex relation is always very difficult to police and to enforce the law. But we have signed and we have taken the oath to protect lives and property in Nigeria, to enforce the law in Nigeria without prejudice to anything. And we are going to do this with all sense of responsibility and professionalism in us.
All right, let's talk more about the complexities of policing a country like Nigeria. I want to be able to talk about VIPs who have police officers with them. It came up in conversations recently. We started asking, okay, so what's the criteria for giving police covering to a person? And what's the criteria for withdrawing police personnel? Because for many people, again, on social media, and even on the streets, basically, they feel like once you fall out of favor with the government, for some reason, your security detail is removed. Once you're in a fight with someone who is favored by the government and the police are on the side of government, for some reason, your detail is removed, no explanation. Could you help us understand that dynamic?
Generally, a commissioner of police in charge of a state has the power to withdraw, even if we have given...
For whatever reason.
Well, if he thinks the policemen are not doing the right thing, and if he thinks the principal is maltreating or misusing the policemen, the CP of a command has the right to withdraw these men at any time as he wishes. It's not, you don't even need to wait for the IGP's instruction. All he needs to do is to send a situation report or a report to the IGP that for those reasons, those men attached to those place.
Could those reasons be political sometimes? For
the case of some billionaire student that were abusing the naira some time ago, the policemen that helped them to carry the naira we withdrew policemen from them. And the police that particular policeman has been sanctioned.
Could the reason be political sometimes?
It's not political. It's
never been political.
It's not political. Once there's a problem somewhere and you think giving policemen to a particular person will aggravate the problem, you can withdraw. If the man, for instance, there was a report against one man in Lagos using his men to harass members of his own estate, and withdrew the men. Fine, he's entitled to have the men. He has approval to have the men. But you are misusing policemen to harass them, shooting to the hand, the state. We do the men. Will you say that is political? No. Once you do things that would dent the image of the police, we withdraw your men from you.
I want to be able to talk a little bit about educating the Nigerian public about police rules and the laws of this country. I know that you have a series where you bring out like a piece of the law. I'm waiting for you to do 305 because 305 is the latest one.
I don't need to dabble into that. It's not my job.
You're not going to do on 305.
It's not my job to discuss 305.
No one concerns security now.
It's just a provision. It's a constitutional provision.
Okay. So usually you do that. And I'm very grateful that you do. Many of us are very grateful that you do, where you bring up bits of the law and actually break down, especially when you did the cyber stalking and the explanations on all of that.
That's the truth. We need to educate ourselves.
And when it comes to cyber crimes. So I want to be able to enter into that conversation about cyber crimes. We have seen that you don't parade suspects anymore. That rule of, and many people from non-governmental organizations and the civil society are very grateful for that because they have been pushing.
They're very happy.
Yes, they're very happy about that. However, when it comes to the prosecution of these cyber crimes, could you give us an update on how it's going, especially these ones that were paraded recently, that many of them are foreign nationals?
It's a criminal offense when you use the cyberspace to cause pains, agonies, sorrows, and bring tears from the eyes of your fellow Nigerians or human beings. That's why the National Cyber Crime Center of the police was established, as it's not just to winch out anybody. And we use this Cyber Crime Act. Erroneously, many individuals, one or two individuals in Nigeria that have been tackling me online at recent times are just that we are using, cyber crime to winch hunt.
To winch hunt, yes.
But it's not cyber crime is not meant for cyberbullying or cyber stalking alone. It's an act that encompasses so many things to protect our cyberspace, not only for that. So for those who have been defrauding, using the internet to defraud, to commit havoc, either sextortion, there's an offense called sextortion, romance scam, and fraud. These are offenses, and we are arresting suspects with our office at Diplomatic Drive in Abuja. Yeah, that's NCC, National Cyber Crime Center. The fact is, when you actually collect money for a particular commodity, and the open market price is, let's say, 2 million naira, and you have deceived the person to say you're going to say, at the end of the day, you collected maybe like 4 million naira times 2 of the real price. And I discover at the end of the day that you have actually cheated me. It's a cheat. I can take it up. That this is the official price of this in the market, and you have done this, and you lured me without my consent. You just lured me into pay. I can take it up. It could be criminal. It could be civil.
There's a crime that is becoming pretty rampant in the country right now, and it has to do with the alcoholic drinks that people are buying. I've gotten maybe 10 people complaining about the fact that when they go and they buy these drinks now, that they don't taste the same and they have adverse effects on people. I'm sure you may have heard a few reports.
I bought a fake one some time ago.
So that's cheating as well, isn't it?
It's cheating. And
so
it goes beyond that. See,
of course,
a particular offense can lead
to multiple crimes. So let's talk about the crimes that are being committed in this particular offense.
Okay, cheat one can come up because you actually sold a wrong product for me. I can take it up. Both sides. I can sue you for exposing me to health dangers, and I can still go by the way of police that I want you prosecuted for criminal offense of cheat. So I can take two at the same time per person. Then I can still hand over you to NAFDAC. We work together for prosecution. Like my own case, I went to a place, somebody offered me a bottle of a particular champagne. And when I opened, no sand, nothing. I said, how will you open this particular champagne? I know that when you open it, the sand alone is carried. There's no sand. And I called the man that, come, I think this is fake. He said, no, he bought it at also place. I, as a Nigerian, forget being a police officer. I'm just patriotic enough to say no. Taking wrong drinks can kill your organs, either your liver, your kidney, and what have you, and you are dying gradually. I said, no, I have to follow up this case. All the way from Abeokuta, I followed them to Lagos. We arrested those who produced, and they were prosecuted. How many Nigerians can do this? All we do is, you gave me
just
free drinks, give my money back. No, so it's not enough to just collect your money back.
So what do we do?
You take it up from there, let the police know. The police will involve NAFDAC. We take it to the laboratory to test. Once we know it's fake, you go up for another offense. So me as a victim of this buying fake product, I take it up as a person. The NAFDAC will take it up on behalf of the government because you're exposing us to unnecessary dangers.
Shop owners, the people who are selling, they always try to make it like we don't know. No, it's our supplier that gave us.
Let them take me to the supplier. Let them take me to the supplier.
The shop owners need to know that they are not exonerated.
They are not exonerated. There's what you call conspiracy in law. Conspiracy is an offense that once you have been indicted, you are an accomplice in a case, the conspiracy will pick you up that you should know. Even if you are saying you don't need to know. Let's just go and investigate whether you don't actually know, whether you're innocent or not. But in most cases, conspiracy is an offense and it precedes any charge you want to give to you. That's why you see that when they write a charge, Commissioner of Police versus this, the first thing is conspiracy. Once that particular offense involves more than one person, conspiracy must come because you have to meet, discuss, before you actualize your intention to commit that offense.
Before we go, I want to get your thoughts on community policing and the update on that. And then also, I want to find out the embassies that they wrote and said they shouldn't give you.
It says a rumor.
Did the embassies say anything to you?
I don't know. The letters were not written to me, neither to the Nigeria Police Force, and the embassy has not told me anything. But I know many of us in Nigeria would like to online. We are jokers online, and you know that it's quite unfortunate that we just like unnecessary sentiment. Do you know we are in a world now that Nigerians should be careful. Now that we have AI generated videos, pictures, we need to be very, very careful. Verify anything you see online, any content you see online. Another problem is regenerating or recirculating old content and make it to be a current content. It's not good. By the time you misuse cyber social media, all this our information online, they can cause problem. The danger in it is that it can trigger crisis anywhere. So let us always verify anything we see online. Copy and paste might be dangerous. Go and read our laws so that you can be guided and you don't run foul of the law. They are not restricted documents. They are online. They're any bookshop. Get your copy and be familiar with the law of the land.
I want to thank you so much, Mr. Olumuyiwa Adejobi, for being with us on Hard Copy. And good luck with all the work I know you have ahead of you.
God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
That's Hard Copy this week. I'm Kayla Megwa. Good night.